Hi everyone, I decided to do another video called 5 tips to consider on the day you are traveling to Australia, especially for those of you who are traveling far away from home for the first time, because these are things I have experienced on the day I was traveling here and things I wish I have had known earlier or someone had told me about it, right? So I thought it might be helpful to some of you. So yeah, let's just get into it. Number 1 is the flight. Now I know it's not to be considered on the day of traveling, but because it's very important, I wanted to put it on this list. I know some of you, or most of you for that matter, book your flights through the education consultancy itself, and I have heard stories of them charging exorbitant commission fees. I personally don't think that you should, or it's necessary to actually book it through them when you can actually get it at a comparatively cheaper rate with the travel agents or even on your own. So I would recommend that you explore the same with other travel agents, because there are many travel agents in Bhutan who actually do flight ticketing to Australia. Okay, so try to consider that. And another thing is there are about 5 flights, I think, for which if you're taking 𝗔𝗂𝘀𝗃𝗃 from 𝗵𝗺 to Bangkok and then another international flight to Australia from Bangkok, there are 5 airlines for which 𝗔𝗂𝘀𝗃 actually transfers the luggage directly from 𝗵𝗺, and you have to only claim it in Australia. And you can find it out from them and try to book it in those 5 airlines, because that way it saves you a hell lot of hassle. You don't have to pay an international flight, remember? So for that reason, okay? Not promoting to do this, but still, right? Number 2 is keep a little buffer weight for your luggage, especially if you have to check in your luggage again in your transit area, be it in Singapore or Bangkok, right? Because the kg can change, man. The weight of your luggage can change. In my case, my luggage weighed around 13 kg in 𝗵𝗺, but I had to claim my luggage and recheck it in Bangkok. So when I was rechecking it, my luggage, it weighed around 17 kg, so I had to pay extra for 5 kg, right? And in 𝗵𝗺, it didn't even reach 15, so yeah, I had to pay extra in Bangkok. So in that way, I would really recommend that you keep some buffer weight for your luggage. And trust me, it does not come cheap. Each extra kg is costing you around 700 or 800 baht, so it comes to a lot. Then number 3 is, my travel agent didn't tell me this and I was freaking out. You might need a transit visa if you're changing flights, okay? So whether you're in Singapore or whether you're in Bangkok. So especially if you're in Bangkok, I had to get a transit visa, because even though I was staying there less than 72 hours, my flight reached there at 1 p.m. and I was flying to Australia by 10 p.m, right? Still then I had to get a transit visa, and my travel agent didn't tell me that. I freaked out, yes. So for that reason, whether you have to get a transit visa or not, first try to find it out from your travel agent if you have to. If they don't know for sure, then try to take around 3,000 baht with you, because you might need it to get a transit visa in Bangkok and a passport copy, right? Now, if you don't get baht and all you have is dollars, be it AUD or USD, right? Then before you go into a line in the immigration office when you have to get your visa, right, transit visa, please change your dollar into baht, because at the counter they are going to accept only baht, okay? So you don't want to stand in that line only to be sent back to get your money in baht. So don't forget to do that if you don't have baht on you and you have to get it from there. So before getting into the line to get your transit visa, exchange your money as baht and take it in. That's something. Number 3, right? And number 4 is now AUD, right? I know we get only 3,000 AUD from the banks, and sometimes you don't get it and you have to bring it as USD, right? then you come here and you change it with your Bhutanese friends and da 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 da. And sadly, I also heard people telling that, you know, they charge more than the exchange rate, which I really find saddening, to be honest. 𝗵𝗵𝗃, I just cannot digest that. Anyway, that aside, that was like just side story. Anyway, if you don't have AUD, then you can bring some in USD, right? And the moment you reach in Australia, the first thing you can do is open your bank account and then just deposit the USD into your bank account, and they will convert it into your they will convert it into AUD and put it in your bank account, or you can take it from the bank, right? So you don't necessarily have to go after Bhutanese who wants to charge you higher than the exchange rate, right? Instead, you can also have that option of opening the bank account on the day you come here, and then of course the card takes around 5 to 7 working days, up to 10 working days to get. So if you cannot wait that long and you don't have money at all, AUD on you at all, then what you can do is deposit the USD into your bank account and keep a little until you get your card, and once you get your card, withdraw it from your ATM. That's what I did, okay? Because I only had USD as well, I didn't have AUD when I came. So that's what I did, and that's something you could consider doing that as well. That was number 4, I think. And number 5 is on the day you land in Australia. Now, if you have someone coming to pick you up in the airport, that's a different story, right? But if you don't have anyone coming to pick you up and, you know, you're just given an address by someone to stay there, and if you're given an address by someone to just come there to their address, right? So now to book an Uber, you would need a card linked, right? So that's not a possibility for you. Of course, your friend who is already here can book it on your behalf, and you can pay them when you meet them. That's one possibility. And if they're not willing to do that, another cheaper option and more convenient option for you would be to take a cab. Okay, so Uber line is one end now, and cab line another end now. So you can choose to go into the cab, and then cabs accept cash. So you can do that to reach your destination. So that would be number 5. So those are 5 things I actually wanted to talk about. Is there any other thing that I'm missing? Yeah, that's about it. I think what I can think of. Maybe if I can think of more, I'll do it as part 2. Yep. 5 things that you could consider while coming to Australia, or on the day you're coming to Australia especially. I hope this was helpful as well for you, and thank you for watching. Ta-da!